Distant frozen western mountains underneath moonlit snowy skies outside tonight suddenly. Will you be our mom? Sophie whispered again softly, her hopeful voice trembling carefully while nearby customers exchanged stunned emotional expressions filled with confusion and overwhelming sadness together silently afterward. Emily covered her mouth emotionally because nobody asked whether she belonged somewhere meaningful since her fiancé abandoned her brutally after discovering medical complications preventing future pregnancy possibilities recently afterward painfully. That secret heartbreak destroyed Emily completely because she always dreamed about motherhood, bedtime stories, homemade Christmas cookies, and hearing children laughing happily throughout peaceful family homes during holidays together annually. Daniel quickly approached, apologizing nervously for his daughter's unexpected behavior while embarrassed restaurant guests suddenly avoided eye contact after witnessing emotional vulnerability replacing arrogant entertainment unexpectedly moments earlier tonight completely. But Emily surprised everyone when tears streamed gently down her face while kneeling carefully beside both twins underneath glowing Christmas decorations reflecting beautifully against expensive crystal chandeliers above them silently tonight. Instead of pushing them away awkwardly, she hugged those little girls tightly like someone finally embracing missing pieces stolen unfairly from her lonely broken life several painful years earlier. And folks, every wealthy customer inside that restaurant suddenly realized the cruelest rejection sometimes becomes destiny's hidden doorway toward unimaginable happiness nobody expected discovering before Christmas miracles unexpectedly arrived tonight together. Meanwhile, Richard sat speechless, watching attention completely shift away from his expensive status toward genuine emotional connection impossible purchasing with wealth, power, or arrogant meaningless social influence anywhere afterward tonight. His confident smirk disappeared immediately because nobody admired cruelty anymore once those innocent little girls exposed the enormous emptiness hidden beneath expensive watches and tailored designer clothing publicly tonight. The musician slowly resumed playing soft Christmas melodies while emotional restaurant workers quietly wiped tears pretending busy responsibilities somehow distracted them from heartbreaking beautiful moments unfolding nearby tonight completely afterward silently. Daniel invited Emily joining their table briefly for hot chocolate because snowfall outside intensified dangerously, making late-night travel across mountain roads increasingly risky during freezing temperatures approaching rapidly tonight everywhere nearby. Emily hesitated initially, worried strangers might misunderstand intentions, but Sophie and Sadie refused, releasing her hands while smiling hopefully beneath sparkling colorful Christmas decorations surrounding nearby glowing fireplaces beautifully tonight. As they talked quietly together, Daniel learned Emily volunteered annually helping homeless families celebrate Christmas despite struggling financially herself after difficult years rebuilding emotional stability alone afterward courageously nearby recently too. Emily discovered Daniel secretly donated livestock profits supporting local orphanages every winter because losing his wife taught him how devastating loneliness becomes during painful holiday seasons throughout struggling small communities nearby. The connection between them felt natural immediately, not forced like blind dates usually becoming when desperate lonely adults pretend perfection while hiding emotional exhaustion behind fake confident conversations everywhere nowadays constantly. For the first time in years, Emily laughed genuinely after Sadie spilled whipped cream accidentally across Daniel's jacket while Sophie giggled uncontrollably beside glowing restaurant candles flickering warmly tonight beautifully afterward together. And honestly, everyone nearby sensed something extraordinary forming slowly between wounded hearts discovering comfort unexpectedly through innocent children believing love still existed despite previous devastating painful losses completely tonight together already. After dinner ended, dangerous snowstorms blocked nearby highways completely, forcing stranded travelers spending Christmas Eve together inside the mountain lodge until weather conditions improved safely again tomorrow morning perhaps. The unexpected overnight situation created unforgettable moments nobody planned, especially Emily, who suddenly found herself decorating gingerbread cookies alongside excited twins laughing joyfully beside enormous fireplaces warmly throughout festive holiday celebrations. Daniel watched quietly from nearby wooden staircases while Emily helped Sophie fix broken candy decorations patiently without frustration despite energetic chaos surrounding crowded lodge hallways filled with cheerful exhausted families tonight. Something about Emily's gentle kindness reminded Daniel painfully about his late wife, yet different enough creating fresh hope instead of heartbreaking memories controlling every emotional decision afterward any more recently lately. Meanwhile, Emily noticed Daniel's quiet strength whenever helping elderly travelers carry heavy luggage carefully across icy floors becoming slippery from melting snow, entering constantly through revolving entrance doors nearby tonight repeatedly. Late that evening, the twins convinced Emily joining them outside watching snowfall sparkle beautifully underneath glowing lodge lanterns hanging across peaceful snow-covered courtyards surrounded by towering frozen pine trees everywhere tonight silently. Sophie suddenly asked whether Emily believed Christmas miracles truly happened because their father stopped smiling completely after losing their mother during terrible tragic winter accidents years earlier, heartbreakingly nearby afterward sadly. Emily answered honestly, explaining miracles sometimes arrive disguised as painful endings because life occasionally removes wrong people before leading hearts toward unexpected meaningful connections later afterward beautifully someday, perhaps surprisingly enough. Daniel overheard that conversation quietly from nearby doorways, realizing Emily understood emotional pain deeply without becoming bitter, cruel, or emotionally closed despite devastating personal heartbreak experience previously throughout lonely difficult years alone. And right there beneath falling snowflakes, Daniel felt something awaken inside his guarded heart for the first time since tragedy shattered his peaceful family forever several painful Christmas seasons earlier completely. The next morning arrived brighter than expected after violent snowstorms finally weakened, leaving sparkling white landscapes stretching endlessly across peaceful western valleys surrounding isolated mountain highways nearby beautifully afterward silently today. Travelers prepared leaving quickly, but Sophie and Sadie suddenly became emotional realizing Emily might disappear forever once roads reopened and ordinary life returned unexpectedly afterward again painfully for everyone involved. The twins clung tightly around Emily while begging softly for future visits, making nearby strangers smile warmly despite witnessing heartbreaking sadness filling that beautiful Christmas morning together inside crowded lodges nearby. Daniel offered driving Emily home personally because dangerous icy roads remained risky despite improving weather conditions gradually across surrounding mountain territories connecting distant neighboring towns nearby afterward throughout freezing morning temperatures today. During that long drive, they shared painful truths neither usually discussed openly with strangers because Christmas somehow creates emotional honesty impossible avoiding completely afterward among lonely broken hearts seeking comfort quietly together. Emily revealed her former fiancé abandoned her immediately after doctors confirmed pregnancy complications would likely prevent motherhood permanently throughout her remaining future life sadly afterward despite years together previously already heartbreakingly enough. Daniel admitted fearing love completely because losing his wife nearly destroyed him emotionally, leaving overwhelming terror about risking happiness again while raising vulnerable daughters alone afterward continuously throughout difficult exhausting lonely years. But somewhere between snow-covered ranches and quiet frozen highways, they both realized broken people sometimes understand each other better than perfect strangers ever possibly could afterward beautifully enough during unexpected journeys together. When they finally reached Emily's modest apartment building, the twins refused saying goodbye normally, instead handing Emily handwritten Christmas drawings showing their entire family standing together smiling happily beside enormous decorated trees tonight. And folks, if your heart still believes coincidences exist after hearing everything unfolding perfectly throughout that emotional Christmas night, then you probably missed destiny working quietly behind every painful moment already completely. Over following weeks, Daniel continued visiting Emily regularly alongside excited twins who treated her presence like precious sunshine finally returning after endless emotional winter darkness consumed their peaceful family home previously. Emily helped the girls bake homemade pies, repair old school projects, and decorate Daniel's ranch house beautifully while laughter slowly replaced painful silence haunting empty hallways throughout lonely evenings afterward completely together finally. Neighbors noticed dramatic changes immediately because Daniel smiled more often, while Sophie and Sadie stopped crying secretly during nighttime storms reminding them painfully about their mother's tragic fatal accident previously throughout difficult years. Emily also transformed emotionally because loving those little girls healed invisible wounds doctors, friends, and therapists never completely understood despite years attempting rebuilding her shattered confidence afterward gradually alone previously too painfully. One evening near Valentine's Day, Daniel invited Emily horseback riding across snowy hills overlooking peaceful western valleys glowing beautifully underneath colorful sunset skies stretching endlessly beyond distant frozen rivers nearby tonight together silently afterward. There beside ancient oak trees wrapped carefully with leftover Christmas ribbons forgotten accidentally months earlier, Daniel nervously admitted life finally felt meaningful again whenever Emily entered their peaceful family world completely afterward beautifully together recently. Emily cried softly because she feared nobody would ever truly need her again after heartbreak destroyed dreams about marriage, children, and unconditional love lasting forever throughout peaceful family homes previously already heartbreakingly enough. Then Sophie and Sadie suddenly appeared from behind nearby fences carrying handmade wooden signs painted carefully with uneven colorful letters sparkling underneath golden sunset light across snowy ranch fields tonight beautifully together afterward. The signs read, "Please stay forever," while both twins smiled hopefully toward Emily standing speechless beside emotional Daniel underneath endless western skies filled with glowing evening colors tonight magnificently afterward silently together beautifully. And right there, surrounded by snow, horses, laughter, and healing hearts, Emily finally realized rejection during one terrible blind date secretly guided her toward genuine unconditional love afterward forever completely. A year later, that same mountain restaurant hosted another unforgettable Christmas celebration, although this time nobody witnessed humiliation, cruelty, or heartbreaking loneliness destroying vulnerable hopeful hearts publicly anymore afterward tonight beautifully together. Instead, guests watched Emily wearing a beautiful white winter dress while Sophie and Sadie proudly scattered flower petals excitedly across candlelit floors toward emotional Daniel waiting nearby smiling proudly tonight together completely afterward beautifully. Even restaurant workers remembered that painful blind date night vividly because witnessing heartbreak transform magically into genuine family happiness felt stronger than ordinary romantic stories usually shared during Christmas celebrations everywhere annually afterward. Richard Holloway reportedly sold his ranch afterward because public embarrassment damaged his reputation permanently, proving arrogance eventually destroys people refusing kindness, compassion, and humility throughout meaningful human relationships. Campbell.